We're waiting for Brian Carmody at present.
Right here? Kidding. Oh, the other. So, lights not on yet.
Mr. Carmody, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
And we invite you to go ahead with your presentation when you're ready.
Okay.
And I remind that you have up to 6 minutes for your opening statement.
Okay. I believe in Pasadena. My people came here over 4 years ago, in 2008. In that time, I've grown to love this city very much, from the verdant bushes of its many parks to the culinary delights of its many restaurants. Doghouse, any of you been? The lumberjack, eggs, bacon, and soap on your hot dog? It's a pretty sweet deal. We have the Rose Bowl, where I've done canvassing, charity walks for epilepsy awareness. We also have the beautiful Pasadena City College campus, where I've canvassed for new voters. I've also grown quite fond of the people. Some of the best friends I've had, I've told about Pasadena. Now I want to give something back. To paraphrase John Fitzgerald Kennedy, our 5th president, ask not what Pasadena can do for you, but what you can do for Pasadena. So who is this man standing before you, asking to help out the city he loves? I am an award-winning screenwriter, a fascist, a devoted Catholic, but most of all, I am simply a citizen, a hopelessly community-driven citizen, much like all of you, but until now, hasn't felt he's done enough to give back to the community he loves. I've had a very blessed life so far, born into a loving family, instilled with a strong moral compass by my parents, Colonel Kevin and Cora Carmody, and given every advantage. But until this point, I felt I've really done woefully little in terms of my civic duty. To quote Charles Van Doren, I've stood on the shoulders of life, and I've never gotten down into the dirt to build, to erect a foundation of my own. I've flown on borrowed wings too high. Everything came too easy. Pasadena is my home, and my home is where my heart is, and that makes everyone in Pasadena my friend. I have a long way to go. I do this for my friends, and I have millions of them. Whatever they're feeling for me now, my affection for them is stronger today than ever before. I'm making this campaign because of them. I hope my being here will serve them well and lastingly. The goal of man, as the great L. Ron Hubbard put it, is survival. And the third dynamic of survival is community. To me, community breaks down into two things: communication and unity. Because if we can't talk to each other, then we can't live together. Now, I have epilepsy. As you can imagine, this has sometimes made it difficult to get around. But it's never stopped me from trying to seize the day. I thought I took that part out. It has given me a tremendous perspective on this fair city of ours. Walking around and taking our trains and buses, I get to see firsthand our community and its peoples. I speak for the walking man. So I appreciate the value of public transit, and this is in fact my focus today, the 710 Metro project proposed highway tunnel. I applaud this committee for its actions in asking the Transit Authority for a stay of consideration. A primary goal of the Metro project is to alleviate regional traffic congestion and improve mobility in the Los Angeles County region, specifically in the study area bounded by State Route 2, etc., etc. With respect, if you have a car, you're already pretty mobile. Some of us are not so lucky. Some of us, due to financial situations or environmental concerns, I think there was even one guy with epilepsy, don't possess a car to drive us around all over the place. More to the point, freeways are loud, expensive eyesores where people get killed. One of the alternatives suggested includes expanding the light rail transit line. I, for one, think that's a marvelous idea, a cleaner, safer, more aesthetically pleasing and environmentally sound alternative. Now, who champions a freeway? 8 lanes of shimmering cement running from here to Pasadena. Smooth, safe, fast. Traffic jams will be a thing of the past. My God, it will be beautiful. Now, who said that? Allow me to answer the question I just asked with another question. Who framed Roger Rabbit? Judge Doom foresaw his profitable Pasadena freeway at the expense of the red car and, at worst, the death of our cartoon dreams. Now, about dreams. Superman once said, "Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us into something better." And the greatest dream is the American dream. See, I believe in truth, justice, and the American way. And to paraphrase Captain America, it doesn't matter what the press says, doesn't matter what the politicians or the mob say, doesn't matter if the whole world decides that something wrong is something right. This nation was founded on one principle above all else, the requirement that we stand up for what we know is right, no matter the odds or the consequences. When the whole world is telling you to move, it's your job to stand beside, like a tree beside the river of truth and say, no, you move. Freeway or light rail, it's not what's out there that moves us, it's what's in here. It's what's in here. And that was the issue I dwelt on today, but there are 100 others, and with your blessing, I can help you move us all, the entire city of Pasadena, into a brighter tomorrow. God bless you all. God bless Pasadena. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carmody, very much. We appreciate your interest in this position and your taking time to be here tonight for your information. We have 4 questions for you. And the first one is, if I may, what do you see are the biggest challenges facing the city of Pasadena?
Well, and thank you for having me here tonight. Looking at the city plan, the general outline, the general concern of Pasadena, for me it seems to be a primary concern is land, like zoning land, where to put things, what's going where, and basically it seems to me that we don't have enough land. So for me, it's not like we can create new land, it's rather what we can do with the land we have. Now, I've walked around the Pasadena a lot. I noticed empty lots. I noticed buildings that are pretty much abandoned. There's one right over on Holly, where nothing's been there for 3 years. There's one over on Raymond. It's an abandoned restaurant. It used to be a Cuban restaurant. That place is a ghost town. The sugar packets are still on the table. The tables are still set. And I also noticed that there's a lot of homeless people who don't have any land of their own. They're just laying out there in the park. And I think overall our community could do something better about that.
Thank you, sir, very much. Ms. Robinson?
What are the biggest issues facing District 3?
I think District 3, specifically, the district which I'm coming from, for me it's like District 3 is sort of represented by the Rose Bowl, the whole structure, and Memorial Park. Memorial Park, as I have previously stated, it does have like there are a lot of homeless people there, and I think that you see them all over the place, and I think some of us have a tendency to just ignore them, but I think there's more we could be doing. I mean, those are human beings out there that living in the park.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Carmody, what are your thoughts on the general plan update?
Well, I think the general plan has some good points, and I think that, like I stated earlier, the primary concern that I saw, sort of the uniting theme in terms of, you're talking about, okay, the economy, like, because right now in Pasadena, like, especially District 3, has a lot of retail, a lot of restaurants, great restaurants too, but Pasadena is lacking right now some of the more manufacturing, some more industrial things, and I think that there's only so much that the city itself, as a governmental body, if you will, can do to that state, that it's really, to me, more about encouraging civic outreach, encouraging the people, the private citizens, to get involved. And I've noticed that in terms of the, one of the issues was cultural outreach, social activities and the such, and I think the city plan has that there, and I think we can go forward.
Mayor, tempted to scrap my question and ask about jitneys. You remember that, but thank you for being here, Mr. Carmody. By the way, JFK was the 35th president.
That's what I said.
I thought I heard you say 45th.
No, see, I said 34th, then I corrected myself.
I heard 44th and 45th.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a speech.
If you
sometimes
know
my
who the,
R's, I have a problem with R's, but 30 and 40 do sometimes sound.
If you know who the 45th president is, that would be a story.
Yes.
But my question is, and I hesitate to use this word too, the role that you would play as an appointed council member for District 3, and whether you view that role and responsibility as being different or the same or some other description of an elected council member, because as you know, it's for a short term.
It is for a shorter term, but that doesn't mean it requires a shorter person. Yes, we do, coming into this interim position, obviously we're having less time to effect the changes, and I think to a certain extent less influence. I mean, just simply by the time constraint, but also less so because you don't have the mandate of the electorate body. So I think that especially in a position much like our 38th president, Gerald Ford, who is not elected in any capacity, you're not coming into this with a mandate of the people, so you have to represent them and try to keep the best interest even though they didn't vote for you. So that's what I would try to do. Keep in mind that I wasn't elected by the people, they appointed by this committee. And keep that in mind before I get too big for my britches and say, oh, well, I'm the city council member, this is what I'm doing. Then they're like, no, you're not, because we didn't vote for you. But I'm saying, but I am the city council, look at the chair that I'm sitting in. And they'll say, well, you're sitting in that chair, but only for...
I get the point.
Yeah, well, just trying to hammer it home, because...
I think that's a really good answer. Thank you, Mr. Carmody.
I believe that's 4. If my math's better than my history.
It is. It
Okay.
completes the interview process that the council developed and intended to present and ask you to participate in. So we thank you.
Fantastic.
And